Welcome back to NATOR'S Game Picks, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the divisional round. Wildcard weekend is wrapped up. I got 2 games wrong out of 6. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 2 games wrong out of 6. I got the Chargers over the Texans wrong. The Texans beat the Chargers by 20 points. And my upset alert of the week went through. I had the Commanders beating the Buccaneers. Commanders beat the Buccaneers by 3 points. I predicted 24-19. The final score was 23-20. And I was wrong about the Vikings beating the Rams. The Rams beat the Vikings for the second time of the 2024-25 season. They won of a score of 27-9. I predicted the Vikings winning 31-25. Divisional round is right ahead. So let's go ahead and look at the the matchups, and let's take you through the divisional weekend. So 179-83 is the overall record for the whole year. Obviously not counting week 18 because I didn't make no picks. But anywho, we're going to go ahead and get started. We have Saturday. There's 2 games on Saturday. The first game, 4:30 Eastern time, is the Texans at the Chiefs. I think this is a good matchup for the Texans, a tougher matchup for the Chiefs, considering their receiving core is going to have to go against a secondary that's played all world. Kabari Lassiter, Derek Stingley Jr., who's first team All Pro, and then you got a pretty good defensive back room and a good front seven in the Texans defense. The Chiefs here are probably going to establish a run, keep their defense guessing what's coming, and try to get some shots down the field, attack them. You know, other than Xavier Worthy and Justin Watson, there's not a lot of speed to this Kansas City Chiefs offense. You have Kareem Hunt, DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, a second-string tight end who's been looking like a Mahomes security blanket. He might be someone that the Texans want to bracket more than they do Kelce, as Kelce is, so far this season, although very efficient, has ran very short routes, like under 4 to 3 yards, as he's really just finding those soft zones in front of the linebackers, not even trying to get in front of the safeties and behind them. So that's going to be interesting to see there, how the Chiefs come out and attack on offense. I think the way with Isaiah Pacheco back, Snoop Connor, they kind of have a running back by committee. Most of their backs are receiving threats, though, because the Chiefs, I know Andy Reid typically likes to have receiving threats out of the backfield, particularly in the postseason, as Damian Williams was a big threat for them in that department in 2019 when they got their first Super Bowl in the Mahomes Reid era. But this could be a good matchup for the Texans. They have to find a way to protect C.J. Stroud. Early in that game against the Chargers, it didn't look too nice. Then he got to turn it around after making some plays out the pocket. They want to get Joe Mixon going too. Obviously, anything to help your young quarterback as he looks for his 3rd playoff win. And the Houston Texans, in their franchise history, are 0-5 in the divisional round. They've never advanced past that round. So this could be their calling. This could be a great moment for the Houston Texans as a franchise, but they have to go through the defending champs and the Kansas City Chiefs on the road. It's no easy task, and I see the Chiefs bending but not breaking and making fewer mistakes than the Texans. The Texans can't basically have to play mistake free if they want to win on the road. So the Steve Spagnuolo-led defense, I think they hold the Texans to 23 points while scoring 28. So I got the Chiefs winning on a score of 28-23 over the Texans. And then the Saturday night game, 8 p.m. Eastern, is the Commanders at the Lions. So this is the NFC. We have one AFC matchup on Saturday, and then an NFC, and then the other 2 follow on Sunday. The Lions here at home got some players back off injury. Alex Anzalone came back in Week 18. He was a great integral part of their second in the middle of their defense. Some of their pass rushers are still injured, but they got some people healthy. Josh Paschal, Aleem McNeil, also Zadarius Smith, as they acquired in trade, had a sack against the Vikings 2 weeks ago when they secured the number 1 seed against the Vikings. Vikings got eliminated, so now they're looking at a Commanders team, young and scrappy. They have Jaden Daniels won his first career playoff start, and they're in the divisional round, and with a rush attack that really is highlighted by their quarterback. I don't think, for the Commanders' sake, that they want Daniels to take too many unnecessary hits. He is generally good at avoiding that, but there were some hits he took against the Buccaneers defense that looked pretty bad. Obviously, this didn't hurt him in the long run of that game, but you need to be durable throughout the playoffs. So I expect him to make some more plays from the pocket against this Lions defense, which has tremendously improved with Aaron Glenn over the past couple of years. They have some rookies in the secondary, brought in some free agents, Carlton Davis, Amik Robertson in that secondary as well. And they fly around, they punish you when you catch the ball. And Kirby Joseph, I think, is the best free safety in the league. And Brian Branch, the strong safety who can cover virtually anybody. He's going to have a task here in covering veteran and Zach Ertz. So who knows? Maybe the veteran Ertz has some tricks up his sleeve that the young Branch hasn't seen. This could be a fun matchup to see. And the Commanders' defense have probably the tallest task of everything out of everyone. As the Lions are home, they're getting David Montgomery back from injury. So now the Sonic and Knuckles duo of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery is back in full thrust. Jared Goff relies on this a lot to open up the play action, hitting Tim Patrick, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jameson Williams and Sam Laporta. This is an endless list of weapons. It's kind of scary, honestly. But I thought the Commanders' defense showed some toughness. They held the Bucs to some field goals when the Bucs came into the red zone. That's going to be their biggest challenge against this Lions team, because their Lions are going to move the ball up and down the field. But you got to hold them to field goals, especially considering your offense needs to come away with points too. You cannot let this Detroit offense score touchdowns, especially when they get into the red area, as they are prone to relying on some trickery and some hook and ladders, as they'll get creative to get it in there. So hold them to a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 4th and 2, 4th and 3. You know, Dan Campbell's the style likes to go for it. That won't be enough, as they're going to pull out all the tricks necessary. I like the Lions at home here. I think they beat a Commanders team that is rallying, is following their coaches. They're rallying after their young quarterback. It's just not going to be enough to limit the firepower of the Lions offense and offense as a whole, I believe. So I think the Lions win at home, the score of 38-30. Now we're moving on. Sunday slate of games, 3 o'clock Eastern. We have the Rams at the Eagles, and this is my final upset alert of the 2024-2025 season. I'm not going to have none for the AFC title game, championship game, or the Super Bowl. And if it is an upset alert, I'll just say why I think it is. But I think this is an upset because this is the upset alert of the week, because both these two teams played each other in LA. Saquon Barkley had 65+ yard runs, 2 runs of 70+, I believe, in the fourth quarter alone. And he ran for over 250 yards. They beat the Rams, I think, by 17, 37-20. And this is right when the Rams were starting to tilt their season. You know, they had started 1-4, started winning some games. They lost to the Eagles and then kept winning games again. They only lost 3 games after starting 1-4. So they finished the year on a very good tear. Their defense. Last week they sacked Sam Darnold and his Vikings pass attack 9 times, tying an NFL record for the postseason. I think they're fully capable of getting to Jalen Hurts, as the Eagles' offensive line is among the best in the league. But obviously, it's very hard to pass protect for multiple seconds, especially with a ferocious pass rush. They have very young talent in their interior D-line. Jared Verse, rookie Pro Bowler, along with Braden Fisk, Kobe Turner, Kobe Durant. Kobe Durant's a defensive back, Kobe Turner, Byron Young. These are young players that the Rams have drafted. A team who didn't have a first-round draft pick since 2016. Their first-round pick this year became a Pro Bowler in Jared Verse. And then Akello Witherspoon. You have Quentin Lake, who's a captain, slot corner, nickel safety. He's covering the man-to-man. Rookie free safety Cameron Kinchins with 4 interceptions. You got Cameron Curl. I think he's been in the NFL for a while, a veteran. Darius Williams, who's second stint with the Rams. This is an experienced group, although very young. I believe the second youngest defense in the entire NFL, behind only the Packers. Offensively, they're Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford, more older players. But Kyren Williams and this rush attack, that's their fuel. And then they have receivers who love to block. They get nasty. They get in there. They get into the front 7. They block linebackers. They block safeties. They crack down block on ends. And Puka Nacua, Whittington. We already mentioned Tyler Higbee back from injury. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. The Eagles did not look very nice against the Packers in a 22-10 win. Like, they converted when they needed to, but a lot of that was off turnovers from the Packers. If the Rams don't turn the ball over, I think they have a big chance in upsetting the Eagles here, as the Eagles also struggled to come away with touchdowns when they got into the red zone on multiple occasions. They did score twice, but also, had to settle for a field goal, had to punt a little bit. and some boos from the Eagles crowd. Maybe being home in this case may not help if you feel some pressure from this Rams. If this Rams team come out and commit fewer penalties in the early going and hit the Eagles in the mouth, this could be one of those games where the Eagles are looking kind of disgruntled. Now, this Vic Fangio-led defense is still going to hold its end. I don't think they let the Rams score no more than 24 points. But obviously, this offense, Eagles-led offense, has to score points against this super hot Rams defense. How do you slow down this Rams pass rush? They're not even really sending many blitzers. They were against the Vikings because they had a hard time adjusting, and the Rams went up early. But if this is like a stalemate game, they're going to have an answer for this front four rush, screen plays, and can the Rams stop and slow down Saquon Barkley? That's the key, is slowing down this Jalen Hurts-led offense in the first place. Forcing Hurts to beat you from the pocket. Keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get out the pocket and make plays. And then you have to rely on sticky coverage from your secondary for long periods of time. But this is my upset of the week. I think the Rams go into Philly and they get the win here. I think they win with a score of 21-17, advancing the Rams to their third NFC championship in I believe 4 years. So 5 years, I believe, 4 or 5 years. This is pretty big for them. So I can see that happening, and Matthew Stafford leading his team into the NFC Championship round against his former team in the Lions, Jared Goff's former team in the Rams. Would be crazy. So now the final game on Sunday is probably the most anticipated matchup of this divisional round weekend, without a doubt. It's 6:30 Eastern. The Ravens at the Bills. Now, these two teams met each other back in week 4. Game was in Baltimore. Baltimore beat the Bills by a score of 35-10. They took advantage of, I think, 2 or 3 Bills turnovers. This time around, I think it's going to be a lot different. The Bills are at home. They've been gelling. The Ravens have had some dominant wins over division opponents, and their offense is looking good. Derrick Henry, their defense, after moving Kyle Hamilton, the free safety, away from a strong safety spot, their numbers have improved a lot, where they're not giving up a lot of points or touchdowns. So this is going to be one of those games. It could be a coin flip. This is definitely a coin flip between the two favorites for the league MVP of the 2024-25 season, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Now, obviously, these two quarterbacks don't play defense for their respective teams, but I feel this award could go to either one of these guys. I would be happy personally if either one advances. The biggest task in the AFC is who can get through Kansas City. So the Ravens and Bills are going to squash it out between each other before any of them gets to meet the Chiefs, considering the Chiefs beat the Texans. The Texans could beat the Chiefs. I don't think that's happening, hence why I have the Chiefs beating them. But, the Ravens have lost to the Chiefs in a head-to-head matchup in the postseason. And the Bills, this Josh Allen-led Bills, have lost 3 matchups head-to-head against Josh Allen, against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, So this is going to be the game to break you through. I think the winner of this game is going to be the team that is showing the AFC in the Super Bowl. I would hope so. I hope and hope. There's nothing like that. Like, guys, if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl and go for a three-peat, amazing as well, in my honest opinion. But, Buffalo's never won a Super Bowl in their franchise, and a lot of people will say that Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry deserves a Super Bowl in their own right, and other members of that staff, Roquan Smith, for example. So there's a lot of back and forth there. I think this game is going to be one of the best games of the entire season, one of the best playoff games in recent memory. I hope it doesn't go to overtime, but I think the Bills at home have the upper hand, as I think between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's receivers are a little bit more used to Josh creating outside the pocket and a little bit more safe-handed than some of these Ravens receivers. I think the Ravens receivers are very great. Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman have had amazing years. And then Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, 2 tight end studs that are hard to cover. Big task for this Bills secondary. Taylor Rapp, DeMar Hamlin. It's going to be a big task on the Ravens secondary, I think, as well. You got to cover Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. These are 2 hard-working tight ends with sure hands too. So I think that's what it comes down to. The receiving core that drops the fewest passes or is in the right place for the right time for when the quarterback needs to make a throw, especially on like a 3rd down conversion or a 4th down, because I think both teams are going to try to do a good job to limit the scrambling. They're going to have maybe 1 or 2 spies. Obviously, the designed runs, both these teams do designed runs for their quarterback. That's going to be something they scheme to stop as well. Both these quarterbacks are going to have at least 12 rush attempts each in this game, I believe, and maybe each of them has a rushing touchdown. But I think that's the main difference right there. The difference in the receiving cores of how in sync are they when their quarterbacks escaping and try to create. I think the Bills are a little bit more in sync with their quarterback than the Ravens are with theirs. So for that reason, I have the Bills coming out on top here at home over the Ravens, 34-30, advancing them to the AFC Championship and sending the Ravens home. Now, home game for the Bills, as mentioned. I'm not sure what the forecast is going to be like, but this Ravens team is used to the cold too. It's going to be a tough, gritty football game, an all-time classic for everyone to enjoy. That's NATOR'S game picks for now. Divisional round next week, we'll have just 2 matchups, so it's almost getting close to the Super Bowl. Guys, enjoy. This is where a lot of legacies are made and destroyed. So let's see how it goes. Good luck if your team is in it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this week of football. Peace.